Hi, everybody. Feliz Cinco de Mayo. I think people in the US celebrate Cinco de Mayo more than they do in Mexico, but that's cool. It gives us an excuse to make margaritas and awesome Mexican food. We're doing clean eating Mexican food. And today's class is in conjunction with Wags and Walks, which is a rescue operation for dogs. And they're putting dogs in homes. And as we know, people need help and dogs need help. We're all dog lovers. So to let you know, we have asked everyone for suggested donation. We've already raised $500. We're open for more. So please look at the links wherever you're tuning in. We have a place for you to donate at Wags and Walks. Suggested donation is $20. And we are so happy that you have all, well, we're happy for anyone to participate. So let's get started though in cooking. We are making clean eating Mexican food. And let me introduce myself. I am Elana Horwich. I am a teacher of intuitive cooking. I teach here in LA and around the country. I am the author of Meal into Spiel, How to Be a Badass in the Kitchen. This is my adventures really in Italy and then coming back. But I have had many adventures in Mexico. I spent 5 summers from the age of 15 to 20 in Mexico and in Latin America. I love the Mexican people. I speak the language. They call me an honorary. So I'm really happy to show you some of the things, excuse me, that I have learned. So the first thing that we are going to do is, of course, get started with a margarita. And I could use one. I could use a margarita. I really could stand to chill out a little bit. I recognize about myself. So even though I have spent so much time in Mexico, I actually learned to make this margarita when I was 20 years old, living in Rome. I lived in Rome for 5 years, and I was a bartender. The only job that you could really get as an American was as a bartender, and I worked in a bar, and they didn't make a lot of cocktails, but we did make a margarita. It was like probably the only margarita in Rome. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just adding ice to here. The ice can come first or last, doesn't matter, but as I'm speaking. My margarita is skinny. We're not adding any sugar to it. And let me tell you the ingredients. So we're gonna use tequila. This is like a silver tequila. And we're gonna use an orange liqueur. So the most common orange liqueur is Cointreau. I used Cointreau for years. And then this is Combier, it's a step up, okay? Just gonna remind everyone, or actually you might not know, that at any point during the class, not only are we accepting questions, we welcome questions. I am welcoming them. This is an interactive class. So please, at any point, type in your questions and they will, I've got my computer right here. I will look over to the side here and take questions when we have a break. I'm happy to entertain you, but I really want to empower you to be a badass in the kitchen. That's what this is about. I want to empower you so you don't need me anymore and you get to invite me to dinner. So let's make our margaritas. We're gonna do 2 parts tequila and 1 part Cointreau or Combier. So we're starting with a 1/4 cup of tequila. A 1/4 cup is the equivalent of 4 tablespoons. So, you know, you could go either way. So I just have my tablespoon right here. So that's what I'm using. 1, 2, 3, 4. Voila. And then I'm going to do 1/2 a part of the orange liqueur, the Combier. So that's going to be 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. There we go. That's easy enough. And then I'm going to use a lemon. So lemon is the way that I learned to make a margarita in Rome. I do not need to tell you guys that Romans, Italians have very good palates. It works very well. And we're going to use the juice of 1 lemon. Now, that said, everybody's lemon comes with different amounts of juice. So you're going to taste it afterwards. But mine is pretty. It's a strong margarita, and I like the citrus to be strong. So I'm sort of just putting this in my hand so I catch the seeds. Ooh, this one's juicy. Get all that juice out of there. If one of your questions is, can I use one of those squeezer things? Absolutely, you're gonna get more juice out of it. I'm just sort of like As those of you who know me, I'm all about my hands, and I'm also all about not having to clean up a lot. So I use as little tools as possible and as much hands as possible. So let's take a sip. It's amazing. I like to complete mine with just a little splash of tonic water. This just sort of, I find it, oops, let's see if I can open this. I find it, let's see, hold on for a second. Well, I would open it with tonic water if I can open the tonic water. There we go. It rounds out the flavors. So it's just literally this much. And if you want to skip the tonic water, that's okay too. Give it a little twisty twirl. Yum, it's delicious. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would not mind a little more lemon. So, and that's just to give you the freedom to say, hey, you know, I like something a certain way, I'm gonna add more, you know, let's not be so married to recipes. I wanna liberate you guys from recipes. So, so good. I'm a little bit of a lightweight, so if I drink too much, I might not be able to teach you to cook. Just joking. I could teach you to cook in my sleep. All right, so if you have any questions about the margaritas, please go ahead and ask. And also, please introduce yourself. I'm just turning my computer. Please introduce yourself. Tell us, like, say hello. If you know me from somewhere, say where you know me from. You know, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know, like, what level of badass cook are you? Are you like top level badass? Are you like, I can barely boil water? Don't worry, I got you no matter where you are at. If you can barely boil water, this class is gonna be absolutely fine for you, and I got you. So let me see here. Okay, someone is asking me, Bonnie is asking me, can I use orange bitters if I don't have orange soda? And the answer to that, Bonnie, is I don't know. I don't know exactly what orange bitters are, but I think that would be good. So why don't you just take some tequila, lots of lemon, ice, and throw in some orange bitters. I'd go smaller than what I put in a Cointreau and try it and let us all know. Sarah Siegel says she loves Fever Tree tonic water. This is really good brand. Quality stuff. Will it taste okay if it has no alcohol in it? Well, if it doesn't have alcohol in it, it will just be lemon and ice and some tonic water. And in my opinion, yeah, that would be delicious. That's good. All right. Let's keep going on. We are going to make some food. So let me get some things out of our way. I see a question has just come in. Is triple sec an orange liqueur? I believe it is. If what you have in the house is triple sec, go for it. I mean, this is quarantine cooking. So, you know, I always say the best inventions come from necessity and like near brink of starvation. You know, that's when like your creativity comes alive. So absolutely use what you have. But because, you know, we don't know exactly, like start with a little less and then you can always add more to see what the balance is. But triple sec should work great. I think a lot of people use triple sec in their margaritas, actually. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to show you is we're going to make an elote. Okay, so elote means like a corn on the cob. And this is very common street food in Mexico. It's wonderful because there will be people like right in the marketplace with embers, with like actual like coals and wood cooking corn for you right there. And then you can go and eat corn on the street. What an amazing thing. Plus the corn in Mexico is fantastic. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it in the oven. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna spice it up, wrap it up, throw it in the oven, and then we'll check on it in about 20 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna take a piece of aluminum foil and a piece of parchment paper, all right? And I'm gonna line the aluminum foil with parchment paper. So does anyone know why? The reason is is because the aluminum foil is going to give us the insulation for the heat, but it's really not good to eat foods that have been touching the aluminum because it does leach metals and we don't want metals in our system. So I line it with parchment paper to keep it healthier. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave my corn right in the center and grab my olive oil. Okay, so we're just going to drizzle some olive oil on here. By the way, all of you that have signed up through our link, the recipes are there. They're on my website as well. So don't stress so much about exact measurements. I'm telling you, it's very easy to make this corn. So I've got some olive oil on here, and now I'm going to take some salt, and I'm going to, sprinkle some salt on. And then I'm going to use a few different seasonings. All right, let me get them in front of me here. First is I'm going to use some red chili powder. So you can get red chili powder probably at most markets. I also get it at a Mexican market. You might not be going to one right now. You can even, like Middle Eastern markets have a red chili powder. I bet if you look in your kitchen, in your pantry, you have something that resembles a red chili powder. So it's got a little bit of a smoky flavor to it. And I'm gonna just take a pinch and I'm gonna sprinkle it. Okay, and I'll rub it all around afterwards. So I'm gonna do a pinch of that. And I'm also gonna do a pinch of cumin, smaller pinch of cumin. Cumin can go a little bit, goes a long way. I mean, when we think of cumin, we think of Middle Eastern food, but they actually do use cumin in Mexico as well. And this is coriander. So coriander is the seed of cilantro. Did you guys know that? In Italy, they call cilantro, they don't have cilantro, they call it coriandolo. So it's like, that's what it is. They don't really use it very often, but coriander is the seed of cilantro. So we know cilantro is a big part of Mexican food. And I'm also going to use a pinch of oregano. So just add that in here. And then what's next? Can you guess? I'm just going to move it all around. Now, if you want yours to be extra spicy, you can add some cayenne in here. So here it goes. See how that is? It's always good to lick your fingers to know if you're going to like something. Ooh, a little spicy. Woo! My red chili does not need more cayenne. And I'm just going to wrap it up. So this is going to feed one person. And it's going to go in the oven. Look, I put my oven at 400, so it'll cook a little bit more, but I'd say 350, 400 for about 20 minutes, so it's nice and hot. And I'm just going to throw that in there. Okay, let me wipe my hands. And then we're going to move on, making something really extra delicious. Let me see if we have any questions, though. Now is a great time to ask a question. I love getting questions. Thank you guys so much. I am a teacher before I'm a chef. So really answering questions is like my favorite thing. Oh my gosh, I've got lots of questions here. Allora, wow, let's see. Sarah Siegel saying that she was introduced to me by Corey Koss and that she's a pretty badass cook. That's awesome, Sarah. Cheers to you for being a badass. Is Triple Sec is an orange liqueur, Louisa asked. Von Mayer, hello. So happy to be here. And she said that she turned her friend Liz onto it. They just made the margarita and it's delicious. Fantastic. Cheers, Vaughn. Oh, I'm getting hellos. These aren't even questions, they're hellos. Well, I'm going to just read our hellos. And Calyssa's a volunteer wags and walks. She loves all dogs and animals. And she's a good cook. She's been trying to learn this year. Okay, awesome. I got you. We are in the right place if you're learning to cook. Someone else is telling me BDM. BDM is your name. Interesting. We took one of your classes in LA. We love you. Love it. Someone asked me, will it taste okay if it's a virgin margarita? I already answered that question. I mean, I love lemon water with a little sparkling water. Sure, why not? I'm not really a big drinker, to be honest with you. It's probably my first cocktail. of quarantine. Not to say that I don't intoxicate myself slightly in some other ways, but yeah, absolutely. Virgin is good. Leslie Brogg, who is the founder of Wax and Wax, is sending me so much love, and I'm just getting Bonnie from West LA. It says that I'm fabulous. She's a novice cook. That's great, Bonnie. You are in the right place. Carol Melville has a question. She says when she grills corn, she adds a piece of ice. Is that necessary in the oven? No, it's not necessary in the oven. Okay, Andrew Shapiro from New York City is saying that they're making 2 margaritas, one with lemon and one with lime. Andrew, we would like a report back. What do you prefer? Don't say it's the lime one. No, it's okay. How is it going to be with lime? It's going to be great. One of the things that's a little tougher for me with lime is it's just so much squeezing. You kind of need a lot of them. So that's why lemon's a little easier. But I'd love to know how it comes out. And Nicole Foos, hello, gorgeous. All right, so we didn't have questions. Lots of hellos. I send love to everybody. I really feel you. I want you to know, I know that I'm looking at screens, but our energies are palpable, and I do feel your energy. I do feel your love, and I genuinely send my love back. And I'm really happy to be here. So let's talk about making tlayudas, okay? So what is a tlayuda? A tlayuda is a Mexican pizza, except for it's not like a cheese pizza at all. What we're going to be using is a tostada crisp, okay? So you can buy tostada crisps in Mexican markets, and there are some on the uptown New York City, or you can get them in big markets, or you can do what I did, which is take a tortilla, and in fact, hold on, I used a paleo tortilla because that's what I found at my health food store. And I just stuck it in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes till it became crisp. Option B, also very fun, is that you're going to use chips and put them at the bottom of the plate, and we'll build it that way. So I'll show you both ways. But on top of this tlayuda, what we're going to be putting are coconut black beans. So good. So good. You can just make this as a dip, skip the whole rest of the thing and just make a black bean dip. So I'm going to use about a half an onion here. I have my pan on. I'm going to get it a little hotter. And I'm going to saute some onion and garlic into this pan, okay? With a little bit of red pepper flakes to give it a little bit of a spice. To be honest with you, I'm using some onion in our salad. We're going to make an avocado citrus salad, but I could spare a little bit of that onion and bring it here. I kind of wish I had a little bit more onion. So I'm adding olive oil. Is this common to cook Mexican food with olive oil? No, it's not. I need more olive oil. But I use olive oil with everything. Hold on. Those of you who know me know that I use olive oil all the time. People have nicknamed me Miss Olive Oil. I love olive oil. I find that the flavor of it is pronounced and slightly bitter, and it works well even in Mexican food. I don't want to use vegetable oil. I want to use the good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, and don't worry about how they don't have to be that finely chopped, because we're going to give them a little bit of a puree. And I'm going to put the onion in here. Ouch. Splatter it on myself. What's new? Okay, so there's the onion. I could add a little bit of this onion too. I say it's like a half an onion, but it's maybe a half of a bigger onion. So I'm going to throw that in. It already smells delicious in here. For those of you that have come to my classes, you know I always like to have my pan hot. So always get your pan like warm before you start. It's going to save you a lot of frustration, because then it's ready to go when you are. You're not sitting around there waiting for it to get going. That's so annoying. That's why people think cooking is annoying, because you're sitting around waiting. The next thing we are going to do is add a piece of garlic. So let me just make sure everyone can see what I'm doing on all the screens that we have here. And I'm just going to open up this garlic with a wide knife, squish it down, and just cut it up. You know, the one thing that's great about this black bean puree is that it's going to go in the blender. you know, or the Cuisinart or whatever. You're gonna give it a little blend. So you don't have to worry about chopping everything so small. That is a blessing. Even when it comes to making soups and your soups are pureed, you don't have to worry about cutting everything so small. Okay, so we've got some garlic, we've got some onions. We're gonna use some red pepper flakes. If you don't have red pepper flakes, you could stick a little bit of jalapeno in there or serrano chilies. Yeah, we're gonna go make it a little spicy. So I'm gonna just give it a little bit of a kick on here. If you've got kids at home, use less. And we're just letting this saute. So let me just sort of show you what that looks like. It needs a few minutes, so we're just gonna let it be for the moment, okay? Let that be. We're then going to add in black beans. We're going to let it be for a second, and in the meantime, we're going to start making some guacamole. Guacamole, and we're going to have a see. This is what happens. So you put a margarita in front of me. You know why I love margaritas? Because they make me feel like I'm in Mexico, and I love Mexico. I really, really, really love Mexico. So I'm going to show you what I call my simple guacamole. There are very different variations to make a guacamole, and this guacamole that I am going to show you is not a Mexican guacamole. This is a guacamole that I also started making when I was in Italy, but it is a delicious guacamole, and it only requires a few ingredients, and it doesn't require chopping. So try it out. Obviously, if you already have guacamole at home, great, but you know, it's not easy to buy good guacamole, I don't think, in the markets. Like, I never think that they're really that good. Sometimes, but like, usually they're not that good. So you're just gonna open up your avocado, and you're just gonna squeeze it into a bowl, okay? Look at how easy that is. Again, these are my tools. My favorite tools are the ones God gave me, my hands, and I'm gonna squeeze it in. You know, I'm making a small amount here. This guacamole recipe is going to be very much about taste and add. Taste and add. So if you've got more people in your house, you know, make more. It's like, you know, it's so hard. I can't tell you exactly how many, you know, exactly how much avocado is in an avocado, exactly how much lemon juice is in a lemon juice. And I don't want you to start measuring everything. I want you to just be free with it. So I'm just going to show you, you know, how it's done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of garlic. I'm going to open it in the same way, but I'm going to try not to crush it so much. And I will get to your questions in just a moment. So, and then the paper comes right off, okay? And we're taking our microplane. This is my favorite tool. I wish I sold them, because I probably sell multiple every class I teach, because this is super, super, super helpful. We use it for lemon zest, parmigiano, everything. Okay, and I'm gonna grate some garlic in there. So the garlic is not gonna fall down. It's just gonna stay directly in place. And I'm just gonna grate it. And I'm gonna just add it directly in here by using my finger, okay? I'm gonna think I need a tiny bit more. All right, there we go. And next I'm going to use a lemon. Let's see. I put it into my hands, that way I catch the seeds. Who cares if there's lemon seeds in your guacamole though? It's not really an issue. And sal in español se dice sal. We're gonna put a little bit of salt in here. You know, if your food doesn't taste good, you don't have enough salt. So I use kosher salt as my go-to salt. Right now I'm using a combination of 2 different sea salts because I ran out of kosher salt, but that's what happens. It's not the worst problem to have. You've got to at least have salt in the house. Okay, so, and I'm just gonna smush it up. I mean, look, is that amazing? This is like easy guacamole. Make sure I get all that garlic in there. And then we're gonna have to taste it to see. I mean, so easy, so good. Let's see where we're at. I nailed it. I gotta tell you, I could try to use a touch more garlic. You know, it does usually take touch and taste, but you're gonna see it's just a fresh, easy guacamole. Now, Does that mean you couldn't add a little bit of red onion sliced thin in here? Absolutely. I mean, I've even made guacamole with, instead of lemon, with juice of an orange, because that's all I had, and it was delicious. So this is just a really simple, easy guacamole that you can put together in a moment. Yum. Touch more salt. Okay. There we go. Delicious. Let's keep that here. We're getting ready. Look at our onions. Nothing particularly special has happened, but they're cooked. They've cooked, they've sauteed. And now I'm going to add my black beans. All right? And as soon as I add them, I'll answer your questions. Now, these black beans have no salt. That means I'm going to really need to add a lot of salt here. So we're just going to add them in. Juice too. All right? That juice adds a lovely starchiness, which is going to be really nice. And we're going to add salt, like I said, more than I normally would if the beans had some salt in them. And I think I usually add some pepper too. Hold on. I'm going to get some pepper, black pepper in here. I'm going to give it a stir, and we're going to let it cook. All right? Once these are done, we are going to, and it just takes a few minutes, we're just going to get them really going, because we're going to add some coconut oil to them and just blitz them in the Vitamix or whatever, the blender, whatever you've got, Cuisinart. Let's answer your questions. Okay. Mara is a fellow badass from New York. I love that we've got New Yorkers here. That is awesome. And you met me at the Strand. Hello, Mara, when I was speaking at the Strand. And Andrew, who is on the call, was interviewing me. So isn't this a small world? So thank you so much for being here and supporting this charity. Appreciate it. How did I crisp the tortilla? Sarah Siegel asks. You just put it in the oven at 350 until it's crispy. It's going to depend on the size of your tortilla, but it's going to take somewhere between 7 to 10 minutes. Like, I wouldn't put them all in at the same time because you could burn it. Like, figure out the first one, what the number is on the minutes is on your oven, and then do the other ones. Again, you can buy the tostadas, but again, we're not going to market as much, and I don't know what they're going to have at your market, so I'm showing you different. Someone wants to. My dress, my top is really cute. And where is it from? Well, I wore it on Cinco de Mayo for you guys. I believe that I got it probably 5 years ago at Intermix as like a cover up or something for a bathing suit. But I thought it was very cute for to wear for our show. I will give our class. I'll give a shout out to my friend Shira Thomas. She's at Pave the Runway on Instagram. She was working at that store, helped me pick out this top, and then years later, I hired, because she's such incredible style, to hire her to style my book. So for those of you that have my book and know how gorgeous it is help of the same woman that I actually found in a store shopping. This top. There we go. Nina says, Eliana and Shoshana are here. Thank you for being here, girls. Love it. Okay. So it seems like nobody has that many questions, so we're going to continue on cooking. I'm going to let these just go. I'm going to let them go with a nice little boil, and I'm going to continue to explain how we're going to make our tlayudas. All right, so we're going to have our tlayudas, and we're going to put the beans on them and the guacamole and salsa. But let's talk about another ingredient that is going to be in there as well, which is queso fresco. So queso fresco literally translates to fresh cheese. In the States, we call it farmer's cheese. So this is like a really, what can I explain to you? It's like a feta, but softer and not as salty. You could put a little feta on there. You can skip the cheese entirely. You know, I'm not a sour cream person, but like, I suppose I can go on too, but this isn't sour, you know. This you can find at most markets in California. New Yorkers, I don't know. Maybe at your Whole Foods. It's really nice, and it is delicious for making quesadillas. So you can then take actual tortillas and you just put it in a pan, put this on it, fold it over, you know, let it melt, and that's a delicious quesadilla. So I just wanted to explain that to you. And I actually have something in, look at this, it's really getting to a nice boil, in my fridge that I need as well. Hold on. I also like something really crispy on my tlayudas. So romaine is great. I have radicchio in the house. Those of you that know me, I always have radicchio in the house. You know, it lasts a long time in the fridge. It kind of has a bitter flavor, which I love. But I love to get a little crisp on top of our tlayudas. So I'm just going to like cut us up some radicchio. Now, do you guys see what's happening here? It's bubbling. It means it's done. Okay, these beans are already cooked. Let's taste it for salt and pepper and everything else. It's great. All right, now we're going to use coconut oil. So there are basically, well, there's more than two kinds of coconut oil, but the coconut oils that come in jars come in two kinds. There's refined and unrefined, and you want to buy the unrefined. Okay, that's going to one that's going to have the coconut flavor, and it's going to be the healthiest for you. So we're just taking a dollop of coconut oil, all right, and we're adding it to the pan. We're mixing it in, and we're going to just put it in the blender for a second. So you just go ahead, and just pour this in here. By the way, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have to blend these beans, but they tend to fall all over the place on your tlayuda if you don't. But this, just what we just did, is a beautiful side dish. All right, or we know with some rice, could be a meal. And I'm just gonna put it on my Vitamix real quick. That's it. I don't want it super pureed. You're more than welcome to have it super pureed, but I like it to have a little bit of texture in here. And you can just see what's happening here is that we have a coconut black bean dip, which is fantastic. Guys, like I told you, you can just do this and, you know, have a party with some chips. So let's just taste it again. Heaven, okay? It's the coconut oil at the end that makes this so good. So let's build our tlayuda. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some coconut. Let me get this out of the way. Some coconut, some black beans. And I'm going to just put them and slather them like a pizza sauce, but, excuse me, but, you know, generous. And I'm going to slather some black beans on here. By the way, this is a meal. I mean, you do not, I don't know how much more else, much more than this you need. Then, guacamole. So we're gonna put some guacamole on here, and I just do it like in dollops, you know, just put a little guacamole in here. Lovely, delicious. Next is some salsa. So New Yorkers, let me tell you, when I come to the East Coast, I actually teach people how to make salsa. In California, I don't. We have great salsa out here. You might have better salsa now. New York City, you probably actually have good salsa. But when I teach around Boston and stuff like that, it's really hard to get good salsa. But anyway, you want to get a fresh salsa, maybe one with a little bit of spice. And you're just going to, again, dollop it around. Hope you guys are still there. It's like so quiet. It's only me on this side. I'm like, are they there? Are they there? Are you guys there? All right, so let me just show you what's happening here. Do you see what's happening here? It's not a problem. This is a good thing. Next, we are going to add some of my radicchio, which could be some of your sliced romaine. You know, you could use whatever you kind of have that's a little crunchy. Skip this part. The radicchio is a little bit on the verge of, it's kind of on the verge of, it's a little bit on the verge of death, I'm not gonna lie, but it's, you know, still workable here. And next we're going to add some Queso Fresco. I'm gonna go right in with my hands
And I'm just gonna crumble it on here. You know, if you're vegan, just skip this part. It's not a problem at all, trust me. I don't really eat a lot of cheese, but okay. Let me just show you what's happening. I mean, look at this. You guys see that? It's amazing. And last but not least, cilantro, right? Coriander in Italiano. So we're just gonna put some cilantro on here. And just, you know, you can chop it, but I just sort of put some leaves. And, you know, I'm very, as you can tell, I'm not so into like I'm into the perfection of flavor, but not so much into the perfection of the way everything looks. I like the little texture. So that's what's happening here. Okay. It would be dishonest of me if I didn't actually eat it in front of you. You might think that I made something poisonous. So let's just see. So good. You know, I always have to thank everyone that comes to class, because what you're doing for me is you're providing me with meals for the next couple days, because this is what I'm going to be eating. It's the sweetness of the coconut, the spice of the salsa, even a little bit of spice in the beans, the creaminess of the guacamole with the fresh lemon, the creaminess of the queso fresco, and the crunch of both the tortilla and of the radicchio. We have created something that is really special. So you guys have a meal that is not really just for Cinco de Mayo. I mean, this is one of my most popular cooking classes, my Clean Eating Mexican. So enjoy it. All right, I'm going to answer some of your questions as I clean up and get us ready for, well, we're just going to make a salad. I'm going to make an avocado citrus salad and show you how to finish off this elote. So we're rocking and rolling. You can see this is very easy to make. You can make, oh, kids love this, by the way. I have been sent photos, and actually please send me your photos of people after this class that I've taught with their kids, like their kids with the thing in their face, you know? So I love it. Please share your photos. Hello, Irish Infused. She loves my great energy. Well, thank you so much, Susan. Susan is my friend who actually teaches breath work. So if anybody is experiencing anxiety, I know no one's experiencing anxiety these days. Who's experiencing anxiety? I mean, certainly not me. Anyway, breath work is a fabulous way to move through it. So Susan Ate at Irish Infused at Instagram is a wonderful resource for us. And this kind of cheese, Andrew says it looks so good, Nina, is Queso Fresco. It is called farmer's cheese in the United States. It is available in American markets. I mean, it's like available at Whole Foods for sure. It's probably available at even like regular American markets. We have a very pronounced Latin American community in our country. Fortunately, especially the Mexicans are amazing cooks, so we're so lucky that they're in California. You'll find Queso Fresco. If not, you can use, like I said, like a non-strong feta, you know, but only a little bit then, because feta is way stronger. It is really good. I really am excited to eat this and then get drunk on this margarita. So the last thing that we are going to make is an avocado citrus salad. I mean, do you guys see? This is very quick. Everything's really easy here. Okay. That's how I clean my when no one's watching me. No one's watching me, just the internet. I clean my board by just like, that's what I do. Okay. I mean, I know that's what you guys do when you're home alone too. The food tastes good. Why not? Okay, so avocado citrus salad. We're gonna use a grapefruit. You can 1000% use an orange. I have made this recipe with an orange many times. When I don't have a grapefruit, you know, I can't find a grapefruit, whatever it is. And we're gonna just slice avocado, slice onion, and slice the grapefruit. And I'm going to, you know, you can put it all together in a bowl and mix it, or you can make what I like to call a grapefruit sashimi. And so I'm gonna do the grapefruit sashimi right now. So I need my knife, which is over here. And we are going to just cut away the grapefruit skin. So what I am not doing is peeling it with my hands, okay, on purpose. Because when you peel with your hands, you get that white stuff. And that white stuff right there, the pith, is bitter. We don't want it to be bitter. So we're gonna just cut away the white. So you're gonna use a knife and you're just gonna cut it, okay? You know, this is such a good excuse to buy grapefruit. I don't buy grapefruit enough, and it's just so good for us. You know, it's just so refreshing. I literally could just stick my face in this grapefruit right now. I think I need a little citrus. So let's get rid of this. Well, by the way, does anyone know what you could do with these? I'll save them. You could just put this in water, and then you're gonna have like a delicious grapefruit water. So that's a nice thing to do as well. But I'll put it here. It's always nice to have a little flavor in your water so we stay hydrated. Okay, so now I'm just also going to take away some of these other white pieces because the white is bitter and we really don't want it. Next, I'm going to just slice this grapefruit thin, like I'm making sashimi. Of course, I have like a Japanese sushi chef in my head being like, you would never cut sushi raw fish like this, you know, like they're so particular. So that's just not the way they would cut sashimi, but that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for slices. And the reason that I started cooking is because I really wanted to be near food. I didn't have a healthy relationship with food, and just by like having it around was really helpful because I could always taste. So you can lie it down flat, you know, you can make a little design out of this. You can do it whole. You can cut them in half. I mean, this is up to you. This is your salad. So I'm gonna just, you know, this is how much I'm gonna just make a plate's worth, and I'm just gonna cut it apart a little bit so I can eat it a little bit more easily. But that is what I have. Okay, grapefruit sashimi, and then I am going to take some onion. Now, it's going to be really important that I cut this onion thin. Nobody wants to eat a thick piece of onion, okay? So how are we going to get the onion to be thin? Cutting off the edge here, too. You have to pay attention, all right? We have to focus. We have to be mindful. We're not going to just like chop, chop, chop when we're talking to kids and yelling and this and that, and the TV is on and, you know, the news. You're going to be really, really focused and try to get really, really thin. And don't worry if you mess it up. It's just like better to be thin and have small pieces. It's all fine. You see what's happening here? I don't even need that much because I'm not making a lot. So these really beautiful thin pieces, and I'm just gonna like cover the grapefruit sashimi with some onion. And let me tell you something. This is a really delicious combination. For those of you that have my book, my Tower Mina salad is a fennel, orange, and onion salad. And the citrus makes the onion less strong. So it's like not pronounced like super strong onion flavor in your mouth and make you stink. It's like, it really softens it and it blends well together. So see what's happening? I'm gonna put it in front of me. So you have this beautiful salad happening here. I personally like the onions to go near the grapefruit because, you know, then it's the citrus doing its job on the grapefruit. And then next is an avocado in front of my face. And I'm gonna just open this avocado up, twist it open. Uh-oh, hope this avocado is ready. It feels a little funky. Cross your fingers, everybody. Oh, no, this avocado has gone bad. Well, let's see what happens. Huh, this has been here for a while. Okay, hold on. I might have another avocado. Okay, so we have a problem. The problem is that when I buy my avocados, especially now, I'm buying them not ripe and I'm keeping in my fridge. So a few days ago, I took my avocado out and let it ripen outside, and look, it did not do well. So I'm gonna show you how to make the salad because this is like 1 in a million. I've been eating avocados this entire quarantine. So let's just like pretend like it looks good, okay? Bear with me. Use your imaginations as my kindergarten teacher used to say, put on your imagination hat. imagine this avocado is not brown, but is actually a beautiful green. And we're gonna just lay pieces of avocado right on here and just make that really beautiful in its beautiful bright green colors. Our imagination, you know, our imaginations are really linked to our connection to spirit. So it's so important to use your imagination, and that will help keep us, I mean, connected. I mean, when you say connected to spirit, you don't have to believe in God. It's just connecting to the rest of us. We're all spirits, you know? Like, I can't see your faces, but I feel you. So you're just gonna, you know, add this. All right, look at this. Add this avocado. And we're gonna, you know, pretend that it looks perfect. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, right? It still looks nice. It's a little brown, but it still looks nice. I'm gonna, you know, just show you how to continue. The next way that we continue is with olive oil. Exactly, olive oil. Again, well, actually, first salt. So what the salt is gonna do is going to start making the grapefruit maturate. Like, so the liquid will come out, and now liquid will then like envelop itself around the onions and the avocado. So all together, it like creates this juiciness, and the flavors will harmonize. And then I'm adding olive oil to it. I'm not gonna eat this right away because the avocado is not good, but I also am not gonna eat it right away anyway. You're gonna let it sit a little bit, and then you're gonna top it with some cilantro. And that is just gonna still be beautiful. I mean, this is still gonna be beautiful. Hoping you're all gonna get the point. Of course you are. This is what happens, you know. By the way, if this were, you know, I wanted to make this salad and my avocado literally was completely inedible, the salad, just the onion, everything else is delicious. You don't need the avocado really per se. Glad that we were able to get some guacamole though. Okay. Look at that. Okay, that is really beautiful. It's, you know, really also crowd pleaser. So you can do this in a bowl, but you can also do it on a huge platter. That's what we do in my cooking classes. We make a big platter of this salad. So the last thing that we have to do is to check our elote, but before that, I'm going to see if you have asked any questions. So please bring them on. The question is, what brand of black beans do I use? Okay, I use the brand of black beans that I can find. I mean, it's like a can of beans were super hard to find at the market, as you guys know. So the brand that I used is, what is this? This is West Brain Natural. They rebranded, so it looks different, but they are like organic beans. They come without salt, which is fine, except for it really does mean you do need to add a substantial amount of salt to it. Otherwise, you will not have flavor in your black beans. But these are organic, and I like it. But I don't, honestly, there's like, I think a can of black beans, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, you don't have to be so precious about that. Whatever you find is going to be good. How many does this recipe, does the tlayudas feed? That is a good question. Let me take a look here for you. My guess is that you can easily make about 4 or 5 from this amount here. So, you know, but that doesn't mean that it will only feed 4 or 5. If you've got a family of 4 or 5, you are going to want to double this recipe for sure. Like, just make a lot. It stays good and all of that. Luisa is saying her husband is very happy. What have you made for him already? I love that. Yeah, oh yeah. Men love this food. This is dude food for sure. So let's get our, ooh, okay. Can you guys hear that? It's sizzling inside the corn, inside the packet. So let's open it up. Woo, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Smells good in here. Okay, so woo!
Okay, let me open this up for you to show you. So this is our corn. We're not totally done yet. The next thing that we are going to do is twofold. We are going to take another kind of cheese, which again, if you're vegan, just skip this part. It's not a big deal. This is cotija. So cotija is a Mexican cheese that is most similar to what I would say a pecorino romano. So any of you who have my book, who have come to my cooking classes, you have pecorino romano in the house because it's one of my staples that you can use all the time, and it's a sharp sheep smoked cheese. You could put some feta on here. That would totally work. So we're just gonna open this up, use my same microplane, and just grate some cheese on here. And actually, before I do the cheese, I'm gonna put a squeeze of lime. Now, I do not have lime in my house right now. Lemon's coming in second. I really do recommend lime for this, but you know, what are you gonna do? You don't have lime in the house, you don't have lime in the house. So I'm gonna squeeze some lemon on here, get it all around, and then I am going to grate some cotija. Cotija. You could see how this comes out. It's coming out like a Parmesan. Okay, I got some big chunks in there, but whatever. We're just gonna roll that around so it's in the cheese. This is so hot, I could barely hold it. So let's taste it just to make sure that it's super hot. Oh my God. This is so good. It is spicy. Mine's spicy. My chili pepper's spicy. Mmm. 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 You guys, you cannot mess this up. It is delicious. It's so good with the lemon or the lime, plus the cheese, plus the spice. It works really well. And let me just give you a hint. If you wanted to make this corn and it's not Mexican night, you can put in olive oil, salt, and pepper, and throw in a piece of rosemary. So you can have this corn really take on different flavors depending on what you're cooking, and you just cook it the exact same way. So let me see if I've got questions. No, that is it. So I always love to leave everyone with a little spiel. Today's spiel is coming from my book, Meal and a Spiel, How to Be a Badass in the Kitchen. And it is one of the first recipes in the book, which is the Roman Stardust Margarita. I'm going to let you all know that if you buy my book today from my website, you will get a signed copy at elanahorwich.com, and 20% of proceeds go to Wag and Walks, okay? And if anyone wants to be a big macher, like we say in Yiddish, and anyone just wants to really go out there and give $500 to Wag and Walks, I will send you a copy of this beautiful 500-page denim book. It's time to be grateful for what we have. So here we go. If you want experiences that will shape the unique spiritual being that you are, it's imperative that at least once in your life you work nights for a raging alcoholic. For me, it happened at 21, and it happened in Rome. Lo Stardust, as the Italians called it, was an adorable jazz club in the artsy Trastevere section of the city, and Anna, 61, was the aforementioned alcoholic. She was thrilled to have a bartender who didn't like to drink much, so there would be no one to add to the losses she swayed down every night, and I was thrilled to have a job. I welcomed the grotesque outbursts of anger and broken wine glasses as a departure from the nice Jewish Ivy League life I was molded for. Gone were the days of thesis statements and parental approval, and in were raw nights of untamed rage shrouded by the smoke of endless skinny cigarettes. Between drags and drinks, Anna dispensed invaluable advice. Never use tongs to get ice. Never use tongs to get ice from the ice maker into the drink, she advised. Use your hands, it's sexy. Anna was a revolutionary of sorts. In the mid-90s, the cocktail scene in Rome was non-existent. Bars served strictly wine, beer, and hard liquor straight up or on the rocks, which is why I was able to get a job as a bartender in the first place. but Anna decided to serve a margarita shaken in a martini glass, salt on the rim, not an option. Where she got this idea, I have no idea. Mexican food was unheard of in Rome, and guacamole unthinkable. But to this day, the Stardust margarita is the best margarita I have had outside of Mexico. Cheers, Anna. There you go. I want to just thank you all for coming here. I want to remind you, I want to thank all of you who have given to Wags and Walks. Your money is getting put to use to help dogs that are in cages right now that need to find homes, and dogs that haven't even made it to Wags and Walks yet. So, you know, your money is really going towards helping animals. And I just want to remind you that if you go to elanahorwich.com today and buy a signed copy of Meal and a Spiel, 20% of the proceeds are going to go directly to Wags and Walks. And I just really want to thank all of you for being here so much. I'm going to look and see if we have, no, I don't think we have any other questions. This was apparently a very easy class. All right, guys. Feliz Cinco de Mayo, con mucho amor, cocina con amor, cook with love, eat, enjoy it, and please follow me on Instagram at Elana Horwich and share your pictures with me. I would love it, okay? Lots of love. Thank you so much.